so very different from your own, where magic, beauty, and love are shared forever. Then you will have a home experience. There is just one place on earth where the people make you feel a part of their kingdom, where you just might volunteer to awaken spirits, enrich minds, and work alongside communities to build, motivate, and inspire. This is truly the royal experience. When you dream of a different world, beyond the ordinary, beyond time, discover just how far you go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience.
Mzalwane, impilo yakho imqoko, yinakekele. Utivikele ku-COVID-19 na ku-HIV. Noma ungumzalwane, sekuthi ikhathi tekugcina. Sukuma ujovele i-COVID-19 uphindze unathe kahle ama-ARVs akho. #jova nawe.
Lo mlayeto wemasonto neulethelwa litiko letempilo libambisene naNature namhla buhlangene.
Good evening, this is Eswatini TV News at 8. I am Natilesi Tole alongside Namaklabiso Ngambule. First up, let's have a look at our top stories. His Majesty King Mswati III has received letters of credence from the Ambassador of the Republic of Finland. The Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini urges tomorrow's attendees of the Correctional Services Day to be at their utmost respect. The Minister for Commerce has officially launched the Eswatini SDG Investor Map. The news. His Majesty King Mswati III says cooperation and sharing of information between the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Finland in the energy sector will greatly benefit the kingdom in this sector, since the Republic of Finland has great expertise in producing green energy. The King and Ingwenyama was speaking at Lozita Palace when receiving letters of credence from the Ambassador of the Republic of Finland.
Diplomatic relations between the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Finland were established on 20 September 1990. That is why both states exchanged diplomatic agents such as ambassadors to facilitate dialogues and cooperations. While geographically far apart, the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Finland share one important commonality, which is being small nation. While geographically far apart, the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Republic of Finland share one important commonality, which is being small nations and relatively young independent states. His Majesty King Mswati III says the Kingdom of Eswatini will learn quite a lot from the Republic of Finland, as the kingdom is still trying to develop. Speaking when receiving letters of credence at Lozita Palace from the Republic of Finland, His Majesty also passed gratitude to the Republic for the continued support to the Red Cross organization, as a lot of Emaswati benefit from the organization.
We are all very much concerned, especially with the situations of the world where there are so many conflicts, which has affected not only the European but also many parts of the world, including here in Africa, where we see that some of these conflicts, they have some serious consequences where of life, loss of properties and so on is always occurring. And we hope that there will be peaceful solutions which could be found in all the different conflicts that, of course, are occurring all around the world, because conflicts really don't bring no prosperity into any country, but instead they bring disaster. So if we can find peaceful solutions to all of them, that will be very good. I've also been pleased to learn from your country that you are one of the countries which is moving fast, especially when it comes to energy, especially the energy which is more friendly to the environment. This country, Eswatini, we are having agreements which pretty soon will come to an end within the next coming 2 to 3 years. Those agreements will come to an end. So the kingdom is, of course, in the process of looking for companies that can also produce reliable energy, enough for the whole country and so on, and all of this. Of course, we are looking at many options, including going for the ones which are less problematic to the environment and so on. So to hear that there are many companies in your country which has that kind of expertise, it's of course a very interest for us here in the kingdom, and we hope we can use your office to attract most of those companies to see what kind of offers we can give here in the kingdom, so that we can also work with them in terms of establishing energy sector and so on.
Representing her letter of credence, Her Excellency Anna-Kaisa Hennekinen highlighted that some Finnish companies have been looking at Eswatini with great interest.
Finnish companies have a lot of expertise in these fields. However, it is also important for them to be able to operate in a predictable and transparent business and investment climate. Your Majesty, I would like to reiterate that the Republic of Finland warmly cherishes the good relations we have with the Kingdom of Eswatini. May this special ceremony today further strengthen those bonds.
The Republic of Finland warmly cherish the good relations between the two nations and further looking into strengthening The Republic of Finland warmly cherish the good relations between the two nations and further looking into strengthening the bonds. On the news, I am Polile Mazia at Lozita Palace.
The Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini urges all those who will attend the Correctional Services Day tomorrow to be at their utmost respect, since the country's authorities will be in attendance. The Prime Minister was speaking during his courtesy visit to His Majesty's Correctional Services in Matapa, where he also applauded the service for the Inmate Skills Program.
The Correctional Services Day draws nearer. The Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini has asked Eswatini to display respect and peace during the day so that the event can go smoothly. Speaking during his courtesy visit to His Majesty's Correctional Services in Matapa, the Prime Minister says this is especially important because their Majesties will attend.
Cishe ukuthi vele ihlonipho yethu lehamba embili ayithengi uyimemedela wonke lento lapha nje kuyathi kusivele kufuna atiphathe kahle ahloniphe ngoba kutabe khona nabaselive netivakashi nje tethu kuya kulamanye amazwe vele kakule khona ngibonile nje ngisahamba nangale labasebenzela khona bathumela khona ukuthi badzinga vele kungathi kungafakwa emandla ngasemalini ukuze kube khona lokusebenza sikhathile ukuthi kukhona vele la kusashoda khona. Ngiyadawuta amabhajethi ngebhajethi siyabathembisa ukuthi kungakapheli isikhathi lesidze kufanele ube khona kusebendelekile nenhlaleni kahle nje yabo bonke ama-inmates siyathembisa ukuthi kukhona le-stability.
In February this year, the communications officer at His Majesty's Correctional Services said there were 3,641 inmates under the service. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Ngamandla, visuals from His Majesty's Correctional Services.
The Minister of Education, Lady Howard, has officially launched the Education Plus initiative at Moyeni High School. The Minister says this initiative seeks to ensure that no child is out of school for any reason, especially young girls who are expelled from school when they fall pregnant.
The Minister for Education, Lady Howard, has officially launched the Education Plus initiative, which seeks to ensure that every child, in particular a girl child, completes school regardless the challenges they encounter that might cause them to drop out of school. This initiative is a result of a great partnership between the ministry and all education stakeholders, especially UN agencies.
Silahlekelwe bamfana lamaningi bemamfombatana ngetindzaba tekuthi babe sebayatethwala labanye babe sebangena kuletinye nje tindzaba lesethi bakhokha esikolweni towuhlanganyela la sitowubukisana ukuthi singabathola kanjani labantwana lese basiphukele endleleni sikhone ukubathatha sibabuyise etikolweni batokhona ukuthi bakhone ukuqhubeka baqedze etikolwa bakhone ukufundzela nemakhono thite bakhone kuhamba bayotiphilisa bakhone neqhubeka baphilise imindeni yabo nasebanayo. It is all about ukuthi sifuna abantu bethu babe setikolweni bemantombazana akunandzaba ukuthi kwendekene noma akanamali ekhaya abanamali ekhaya kuyahlushekwa lama organizations lawa aka-UN athi sesihlangene siyabukisana ukuthi sitawubambisana kanjani ngalabantwana sibathathe sibabhadalele lapha etikolweni labo bantwana lese basilahlekelele sibathola sebaphume ngepregnancy noma ngaleto tizathu tekumbe bayengeke lapha nalapha.
The National Emergency Response Council on HIV/AIDS, NECHA, also played a pivotal role in this project. The director, Kanya Mabuza, explains how they contributed.
Nasisingena lapha ka-HIV dinombo tiyasiphikisa nyalo bantwana labaningi babonakala bane-HIV because bayithola i-HIV ikakhulu bayithola ngalesikhathi esidlula kuso lesi badima kakhulu se-COVID. Sesicabanga ukuthi-ke bekunene asibambisane kube inyanza leyo kube ngilowete nesigeja sakakhe sibone ukuthi singakhona ukuthi sibambisane ngakuphi ukuthi umntwana aprotecte ikakhulu umntwana lombatana.
Bagcinile Skudla, a pupil from St. Michael's High School, says having a child should never force girls not to achieve their goals and make a positive contribution in the society.
Na akusimelula kubuya esikolweni especially nangabe udobuya usese pregnancy bayahleka bakhulume tonke izinto labangakhuluma ugcina ukhanza sowufisa nalokuyekela lesikole but if you have dreams upushwa ngilama goals akho not labantu ukuthi bathini.
The theme of the Education Plus initiative is young people completing education, safe and empowered. Reporting, Hayam Tembelihle Makuchwa with Temba Shabangu at Mafuteni.
The Minister for Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Khumalo, says investors will be able to identify suitable investment opportunities that they can tap into through the Eswatini SDG Investor Map, which will contribute positively towards the economy. Minister was speaking during the official launch of the Investor Map held in Matapa.
The Eswatini government, in collaboration with UNDP, developed the Eswatini SDG Investor Map, which identifies priority areas in line with sustainable development goals. The Minister for Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mangoba Khumalo, says the investor roadmap will help identify suitable investment opportunities that can deliver solid economic results.
Working with the government, UNDP helped develop a portfolio of SDG-aligned investment opportunity areas covering 6 sectors and about 14 actionable opportunities supported by well-researched quality data and analysis. The identified investment opportunity areas for Eswatini are attuned with the national priorities of our SDGs. They comprise 6 sectors on food and beverage, renewable and alternative energy, infrastructure, financials, healthcare, as well as education. Within these 6 priority sectors, the Eswatini SDG Investor Map identifies 14 investment opportunity areas, which which are aimed at leveraging our fullest potential in the area of digitization, as well as technology, waste and environmental management, and development finance, with private sector partners taking the lead.
The UNDP resident representative Rose Batindira says a private sector investment declined in Eswatini due to COVID-19, which speaks to the need for market intelligence.
Private investment in Eswatini has also been on a decline, as we all know, as private sector gross fixed capital formation decreased from 8.6% in 2019 to 0.625% in 2020. All these issues speak to the need for a market intelligence tool that is about to be launched today.
Dr. Kanyisile Dlamini, representing Eswatini Investment Promotion Authority, says this project is a milestone for the country. The Eswatini SDG Investor Map has identified 6 priority areas, which are food and beverages, renewable energy, infrastructure, healthcare, education, among others. For Eswatini TV News on Domlangeni, Vumenkosi Zenisa, Matapa.
The Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Moses Vilagati, has tasked the Eswatini Tourism Authority to establish a travel insurance and medical aid for tourists to boost their confidence in visiting the kingdom. The minister was speaking at the official opening of the tourism packaging workshop at Happy Valley Hotel in Eswatini.
The Eswatini Tourism Authority is making a variety of tourism packages to suit the taste of different markets in order to increase the length of stay as well as the spend. The Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, Moses Vilagati, says these packages should include travel insurance and medical aid.
What packages are there for the people? So when somebody is out there, he should be saying, if I want to come to Eswatini to spend 3 days, this is the package that I will get. For 4 days, this is the package. For 1 day, this is the package. And that is what we should all be aspiring. Therefore, it means we must be exploiting the beauties of this country, the events of this country. We need to look at this team, look at the issue of medical aids. I think, and touched a bit on the issue of insurance. Now, you're a tour operator. You have people within your bus. What happens if there's an accident, for example? How are they insured? For me, those are some of the things that we also need to look at and appreciate.
The chairperson of the Hospitality and Tourism Association of Eswatini, Mark Ward, says tourism packaging is important if the tourism sector is to thrive.
We really want something that's in the marketplace coming out of this course. We understand this is a journey. It's the first course we're doing of this nature. We're not going to get it 100% right. We're going to develop this thing as time goes on. And there's going to be lessons to be learned. As in each one of you, when you start to develop your package, there's going to be lessons that you learn in that development of it all.
The minister says the Eswatini Tourism Authority has been tasked with bringing in revenue of 2 billion emalangeni per month and bringing in 2 million tourists per month by the year 2025. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Ngamandla with Mbongwa Dube, Zulwini.
The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, has received a donation of 50,000 doses of rabies vaccination from the World Organization for Animal Health. The minister says the vaccination comes at a time when the economy is unstable, while the country is preparing to vaccinate all dogs in September.
Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, says the donation comes at a time when the Kingdom of Eswatini is preparing to vaccinate all dogs in the country in September. The minister says government is grateful for the donation of 50,000 doses of rabies vaccination, which will help the kingdom in ensuring a rabies-free Eswatini by 2030.
Lamadosi ke akusiko nje ekuwabeka kepha ngeyokulibambisa live esifeni lesibitwa ngekuthi butsatsha. Imvamisa ke dokotela Letswenyo eveni kuye kuthi njalo nje ngaSeptember embele nangakafika iSeptember lelibandla lolibonako labodokotela liye licale likhulumisana nesive ekutheni bantu ababhalise tinja tabo lesikukhutsatako ke ukuthi bantu abatibhalise baregister leto tinja labanato emakhaya.
The vaccination is from the World Organization of Animal Health, which says it is always encouraged to assist Eswatini because its successes in the fight against rabies are for all to see.
Rabies is killing one person every 9 minutes, as you saw in this slide. I can confirm that. And what's more, this one person are mostly children of below 15 years of age. And even what's more, Honourable Minister, there are vaccines to stop this. So it's not like COVID or other complicated diseases where we are found unprepared, we don't have vaccines. This one we have everything, but it continues to kill people. And if you tally that, it comes to around 59,000, or let's just say 60,000 people per year.
Veterinary at the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Bavugile Gunene, says they want to vaccinate all dogs in the country and asked that the minister asked the government to consider paying allowances to officers who will be carrying out this duty.
There were allowances that our officers were able to claim, but we know with the economy, but we are hoping that you can advocate for us in cabinet, but only claim so that this can be a great success.
Dr. Gunene says there are over 100,000 dogs in Eswatini and there was no rabies case reported last year. For Eswatini TV News, Temgose Mavimbela, Manzini.
The Minister for Public Service, Mabulala Masego, says members of Parliament are well aware of the 3% cost of living adjustment as they approved the overall budget of 300 million emalangeni, where 220 million emalangeni will specifically be directed to COLA. Masego says this amount is money that was saved by government from the hiring freeze program. The minister was speaking in Parliament when the ministry's portfolio committee was debating the ministry's performance report for the 2021-2022 financial year.
Members of the House of Assembly for the Ministry of Public Service have raised concerns over the unclear report for the ministry's quarterly report for 2021-2022. Some of the issues raised includes the issue of introduction of the performance management system, the issue of hiring freeze, which is causing issues of service delivery within government. Members of Parliament also raised the issue of 3% cost of living adjustment, where they stated that this will divide the nation.
Minister Silvus Chela Segunabo IPA. I suppose this is the Principals Association. Is this a union or a staff association? I need to be educated. What's the yinile? Utang pendula, nasang pendula ndaubuya nalombuzo kansendanda. If it is a staff association, then I will have a different set of approach than if it is a union. We have always had President Bagasnat being headmasters or headmistresses. Now say yinile.
Ngaqala kumna kuba ngithishela 1982 azange sa negotiate labo head teachers. Kuyaqala nje lokho. This is ingqalisi vele lekithi. And ngiyado kusita kwendekani lemumva. Lesikubulo selitiko letemfundo lithi lelikhuluma ngequality education ayisoke yabakhona.
Kunenkundla nje akuna security guard, akuna secretary lofuna asitele sive sibhalise abantu la nakuzaneni, akuna groundsman lofuna akhona nje ukuthi bantu bete to a service center lenalo noma to a center lengayala maswati lenako konke lo lehlobile nale idetinetinyoko. But no, it's in a doing very well. We can show so many pie charts to say hiring freeze.
The Minister for Public Service, Mabulala Masego, says his ministry is working under budget. He says that Parliament approved 220 million emalangeni will be directed to the cost of living adjustment, 15 million emalangeni will be directed to the consultant company, and finally 65 million emalangeni will address appeals. The minister says the money was gained from the hiring freeze.
Ngicela kungena kuna indzaba yakhona. Ahlonishwa sheme. See public service asisebenzi thina ngetimali lesihamba sodaka. Sisebenzisa imali lesitholela lapha. Kwaba iParliamente ngangikho naniko lesavuma 300 million. Yebuhle ivela labanye bathi 290 but it's in public service that uthi 300 million. Lapho khona 220 samathi ngokuthi uya kukhola. Sathi ukuthi 220 million. Sathi ukuthi 15 million uyo engage a consultant. Letawubuka le miholo lesebenta women isa review. Sasa sithi ke imali engaka 65 million itawu addressa ama-appeals. Kudeke lenye imali esingasebentela tikwayo bahlonishwa ngaphandle yabusiswa ngeParliament, the Honourable House, Honourable August House.
The minister further clarified that the Eswatini Principal Association was negotiating for head teachers, not for civil servants. For Eswatini TV News, Ndomlangeni with Muzi Mkonda, Parliament.
And now we'll have a look at our financial markets.
Standard Bank. It can be.
Moving on, we'll have a look at our sports news. The Minister for Sports, Harris Bulunga, has encouraged local tennis players to learn a thing or two from Tunisian tennis star who reached the finals of the Wimbledon. Minister Bulunga was speaking during a sponsorship launch from Swaziland Building Society to Eswatini Tennis Association with 150,000 emalangeni.
Swaziland Building Society continue with programs of sponsoring local sporting courts in the kingdom. The society has now injected 150,000 emalangeni to Tennis Association. The Minister for Sports, Harris Bulunga, says this should be a wake-up call to local tennis players and begin to compete at the highest level.
When we consistently combine our efforts in such a way, Madam MD, it won't be long before we see one of our own gracing the grandest of tennis stages. Just this past weekend, for those who follow tennis, we witnessed the close of the third Grand Slam of the year at Wimbledon, where one of the African countries, Tunisia, had a tennis player reaching the singles finals, that is Ons Jabeur. While it may look like a far-fetched dream for our own athletes right now, I do believe it is also doable in Eswatini.
Building Society Managing Director Mbali Sibanyoni says this is one way they are using to give back to the community.
SBS management and the board has reached a decision to sponsor the association with a further 150,000 towards the 2022-2023 tennis development program. We believe this amount will assist in ensuring that some of the activities planned by the association are executed accordingly. It is in no doubt that we still have a lot to go as a kingdom in terms of developing the sports to help us compete with other countries even better. And I'm happy to acknowledge that this association has already begun that journey.
Tennis Association President Derek Jelle says the relationship between the two parties will keep on assisting the development of the sport in the kingdom.
My last visit to the MD's offices, she indicated that the Tennis Association should include rural communities in its development programs. MD, I'm happy to report that our tennis programs and our tennis equipment are now visible in a lot of rural areas. For example, we have Gonchingila, which is around Hlati, and we have now even gone as far as Hluti, where we have donated equipment.
Amongst different speakers during the event was Maxwell Jele. The Eswatini Olympics and Commonwealth Games Association uploaded the two parties for their relationship. Reporting for Eswatini TV Sports, I'm Linda Dlamini, Mbabane.
And with that, we sum up our bulletin for the evening. Up next,